Yo, yo, yo! Hey, so if you're someone just like myself who has a million ideas always buzzing around their brain, but you're stuck because you don't know which one to start with, then this video is for you. And I get it. And when I say I get it, I mean I get it because I struggle with this as well. But when you're creative and you have a million ideas buzzing around your brain all the freaking time, it can seem a little hard or it can seem a little impossible to nail down that one thing that you want to make a business out of and then move forward with it. So today I'm going to show you how to cut through the noise, pick that one thing and actually take action. So let's do this. Okay, like I was just saying, having too many ideas is a common problem, and it's weird calling it a problem because all these ideas might be good, but it's a problem, okay? And you're not alone. And seriously, when I say you're not alone, like I think about opening up an apparel company probably every other day, and then, the Den 2.0 probably every single day. And so the reason why I'm calling it a problem is because those ideas, not that they're bad, okay? Den 2.0 or an apparel company, like those things sound freaking awesome. But what they're doing in my brain is they're going, hey, they're getting in the way. I'm getting in the way of this thing that I'm trying to do, or what's going to better my future or better my family or actually get me out of my job or make me money or, so on essentially. And so again, apparel company, I probably will do that one of these days because I freaking love it. I want to make a hat company so freaking bad. It's not even funny actually. And then the Den, I probably won't do another Den 2.0 to be honest. And if I do, I have some ideas, but that's see what I'm doing? But again, those ideas are clogging my brain from dork, okay? I love dork. I want to help people grow in business, right? But all these little ideas are now a problem because they're getting in my way from helping other people grow in business. You see what I mean? And so I used to jump from one thing to another and one thing to another and all that stuff, especially back in the day. It was really, really bad. But there's one thing that I did. There's one thing that I did that changed everything for me. So our brains love novelty and being creative and love doing all that stuff. But that can lead to overwhelm and burnout. And I've felt that way too many times to not fall into this trap anymore of trying to do 5 different businesses at one time. So right now, all I'm doing is dork, okay? Yes, I have Norwal in my band, and yes, that I'm doing some video stuff on the side to pay the bills, whatever, all that stuff. But my main focus is dork, okay? And it's very important for our brain to have one thing that we're going all in. So if you've felt stuck because you can't figure out that one thing that you need to go all in, that's okay. That's completely normal. We're going to figure that out for you right now in this YouTube video. Okay, so here's a couple steps now to narrow everything down and to pick that one thing to essentially that you want to invest and put time in and do all that stuff with. So step 1 is narrow it down, okay? So I want you to pick the top 3 things that come into your brain that you think that you could take these 3 things and actually turn them into a business. Okay, so remember, these are the top 3 things that get you most excited, that you think are the most doable, and then are also the most as far as low-hanging fruit. Okay, let's just say I want to start making hats, right? I already talked about that. Well, do I have all the sewing machines? Do I have all the equipment? Do I have the investment to take that, to the next level? I don't. But what I do have is I have a bunch of cameras, right? So what could I do with cameras, right? That's what I do. I love audio. I love visual. I've been doing it forever. I love art. What can I do that's low-hanging fruit with that because I already have a bunch of equipment? Now, I get it. Maybe sometimes you want to shift and, you're sick and tired of this thing. That was the Den with me, right? You're sick and tired of this thing and you want to shift over here because of said thing. Then yeah, investing in sewing equipment and all that stuff, hats and whatever might be good for you. Right? But again, that third point of the low-hanging fruit, if you have this equipment and you have something that's close to that you're excited about, and then it's doable and you have all this equipment and you don't have to have any investment or any overhead, you see what I mean? It's a little bit closer to handle essentially. It's a little bit closer to reach, right? Okay, so now we're still in step 1. I want you to write pros and cons to each one, okay? What excites you, what doesn't excite you, what's kind of a burden, whatever the case is, because I'll be honest, with any business, there are pros and cons, and that's okay. It's okay to have cons in a business, but you need to be aware of them before you start doing this thing. Like for instance, I'll go back to the hat thing, right? There'll probably be thousands of dollars of equipment or apparel that I would need to buy or that you need to buy to get started, right? So that'd be a con, in my list, right? I don't have $10,000 right now to invest into a company, but that's a con, right? So I need to figure that out. So pro is I love hats. I wear hats every single day. And I think I can make some really freaking cool hats and sell them to the world. Okay, so step number 2 is test and validate. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so you don't have to build the whole entire business, the whole entire everything essentially to test out that product or to test out that business. So ask friends what they think of this idea, right? Ask potential clients what they think of this idea. Ask people on your Instagram, run a poll, things like that, and see what they say about this idea. Now with Dork, people were coming kind of out of the woodworks asking me for business help, especially after the den. They were blown away by it. They're like, man, this is whatever. This is really cool how you did this. I have a bunch of questions for you. And so I would just meet with them for free. So if you know anything about our coaching programs right now, I don't meet with people for free anymore. But I was really curious to see why they wanted to meet with me and if I could make this into a business, if I could value or add value, or if my knowledge of opening businesses was going to be of value to these people. Right? So here's another example. So back to the hat thing, right? So let's just say I need to invest in $10,000, $20,000 worth of equipment and apparel and all that stuff. What if I just went down to Goodwill, or it's called the DAV by us. It's a thrift store, and they misspelt it, so it's thrift. They forgot the H or whatever. It's a thrift store in town, and bought just a bunch of hats, ripped off the patches, and sewn my own patches, or get some real whatever stuff from Joann's and really just kind of crappy do it and get it in people's hands and see what they think of it. So you don't need to invest, you don't need to go crazy all in before you test a product, okay? Testing products before you invest in a lot, especially with money, is very important. So at the den, I actually did that a lot. Okay, I went around town, I was asking people. I actually grew up here, so I knew that we needed an all ages safe music venue. So I kind of used myself as like a test subject, and then I was validating it through other people that lived in this town as well that I could, talk to really quick, like my friends and other people like that. So the main goal with this is to get their feedback. Okay, if you can have a feedback loop that is very, very, very quick, like I'm talking like really quick, like, hey, what do you think of this? Oh, I think of this, or I don't like this, or I hate this, or this would be really cool. And then you can now decipher that and go, I love this, I hate this is going to build a brand, this isn't going to build a brand, and really start to formulate this whole entire brand and vision and product. The faster you can do that, the less time you can waste, and the more profitable, and then faster you can get to that point as well. So test, validate, test, validate, test, validate. Okay, so step number 3 might be the most obvious one, but pick one idea, pick one of those things, right, and commit. I'm talking take everything else and shove it to the side. All those ideas, put it off to the side, those notebooks, whatever, don't throw them away, just put them off to the side, right? And then you take your one idea and you go all in on that idea. So that's exactly what I did with Dork. I went, wow, people are coming to me for this. I feel like I could really help with this. People are kind of saying this stuff around town about me as well, that like I know how to do this stuff. They are liking how I do a very specific style of business, right? I tend to stand out. I tend to open up businesses and brands that you kind of can't copy, right? Like Dork. Who's going to name their freaking company Dork Social Club? This guy. But essentially, I went, okay, I'm going to take this one idea. I'm going to help people with business, right? And we're going to stand out. We're going to do the whole Dork thing and Dork table. And I'm going to brand it heavily into like people that don't want to fit in and do all this cool stuff, right? And I'm going to go all in on this thing. So Den 2.0, so the hat idea, so the pedal company that I freaking have in my head that I would really love to do, all these different accessory ideas for cameras and things like that, I'm putting it off to the side for right now, and I'm fully focusing on Dork. So what's the one thing that keeps on coming to your head, right? It's a little bit more, okay, this is standing out from the rest. The other ideas, they're cool, but they're not, as enticing as this one. So what's that one idea, okay? I'm all over here like in a fight. So what's that one idea, and how are you going to push it forward? How are you going to commit to it? And also, this is the most important thing. What can you see yourself doing out of all those things on the list? What can you see yourself doing for the next 30 years? For the next 50 years? What can you see handing down to your kids? What can you see selling? You see what I mean? So all these different questions of as far as selling or handing it down or being a generational company are all things you have to think about, because again, there's too many people that quit too early. Literally every freaking guru online says it does not take talent to open up a business. It just takes longevity essentially. If you can outlast the next person, right, then you will win. You don't even have to be good at what you do. It's crazy. Like for instance, if you have a coffee shop in town, if you can just outlast everyone in town, so the average life of a company is 2 years, okay? So if you can outlast that, then you're more likely to succeed than the most. Now, at the den, we actually made it to 3 years and we still closed, so But the average amount of time is 2 years, okay? So if you can just make it to 5 years, if you can make it to 10 years, 15, 20, all that stuff, you're gonna last a long time, because what you're doing is in that first couple of years, you're figuring out all the stupid crud. You're getting hit with the city, you're getting hit with this, you're figuring out taxes, your accountant, is your product working, is it not working, do you need to rebrand, all these different things. This is again why I offer our services, is because we help with all this stuff, just a side note. But if you can last through all the freaking bull crud that you get hit with in the first 2 years, then everything after that is just compounding on your business, and then you're growing and growing and growing and growing. So it's really cool to see it work in real time. But again, back to my point, sorry, I'm on a side tangent. Back to my point is you have to pick that one thing that you're gonna wanna do for the next 30, 40, 50 years that you're cool with handing down to your kids and blah, 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 okay? So what's that one thing that's standing out in that list for you? So step number 4 is capture all the new ideas and log them somewhere. So I know I already kind of talked about this in like, a couple minutes ago or whatever, about taking all the notebooks and putting them over here. But what you should do is you should have a brain dump. Okay, I'll explain in a sec. A brain dump notebook. And so this is where all the random ideas that come about all the different other companies or different other ideas or all that stuff, where it all goes, and again, you shelf it. Okay, it cannot get in the way with this idea. So I have one, it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's really cool. I'm sure one of my kids is gonna read that one of these days and be like, man, Dad was crazy. But it's essentially, again, it captures all your ideas. So brain dumping isn't the thing where essentially you get all of your ideas out, you just dump it on this piece of paper, or you dump it on like a notes thing on your phone. And you just get it out of your brain so you can now think about what's important, what's gonna make you money. Essentially, we don't have that much time in the day, especially if you have kids and a wife and soccer practice. And for me, I have freaking band practice and like all this crap, right? You don't have enough time in the day to spend on anything else but your goal. Okay, on anything else but the business that's going to make you money right now. But it's healthy to get all those ideas out so they're not in the way, onto a piece of paper, like I said, into a notes app, something like that, and out of your brain. So very, very, very important, and definitely something that I do all the time, and I highly, 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 highly recommend it for you guys as well. Okay, so those are 4 steps on how I would narrow it down. So what is next, essentially? So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take that one small step today, and you're gonna go, hey, I'm going to pick this one thing, and I'm gonna write it down on a piece of paper. And then what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to make a very messy brain dump plan, okay? What do I think I need to do very next to start getting this thing forward, okay? So the act of putting everything off to the side and then putting this thing on a piece of paper and making a plan is a huge deal. Most people don't even get to that point, and it's crazy. I have so many friends that are like, oh, I have all these ideas. I'm like, cool, choose one, put it on a piece of paper, make a plan. And they don't do it. They let all these different ideas just kind of in their head, they always kind of dream, but they never actually pick one thing to move forward with. So if you could do that today, if you can pick one thing, shelf everything else, make a very messy plan. It doesn't have to be right as far as what you need to do next. It just needs to be on a piece of paper. So committing to something as a creative sounds really bad, is hard to do. Okay, it's because we love living in the messy. We love living in, paint all over our hands and whatever the case is. We feel comfortable there, because what happens when you finally commit to something, that means you're telling yourself you have to do something about it now. So how many unfinished paintings do you have? How many unfinished songs do you have? How many unfinished ideas do you have? How many unfinished videos? This one's me. Whew. How many unfinished videos do you have? Or photos have you not edited? Or all these, sketches, whatever the case is, right? I think you get my point. How many unfinished things do you have? Pick this thing, work on this thing, finish this thing through, and you'll see your life change. You'll see your future change. You'll see your kids' lives change. You'll actually be able to leave that job, okay? And actually be able to make money at something that you love, because you did what? You did one thing. You committed to one thing. It's crazy. It sounds so freaking stupid, but it's the simple things that move our businesses forward. It's the simple things that move our futures forward, our lives forward, okay? It takes one simple, small thing at a time, and act a day to move our life forward. So pick that one thing, commit to that one thing, and move your life forward. Gosh, I got really intense there at the very end. Sorry, homies. So let me know what you think about this video. If it helped you out at all, leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all those things. I'm definitely trying to grow Doric and trying to help people and change their lives and build their futures and stuff through business and through creative businesses as well. So if you have any questions at all, definitely everything's down in the description down below. We have a bunch of free things as well to help you out with business. We have a bunch of paid things as well, like coaching and our courses and stuff like that. So definitely check out our .com. Like I said, everything is down below. And look, my wife and I, we are doing this to help out people like us. The creatives, the people that don't want to fit in, the dorks, the people like that, right? We love standing out. We love making businesses that stand out. And we think they actually thrive more and better than the businesses that tend to blend in. So anyways, like, subscribe, do all those things, check out our .com. And again, definitely go download our free guide, okay? It's a checklist and it'll help you essentially work through all of these businessy things. It tells you exactly what you need to open up a business. And then what it'll do is it actually scores you as well. It's a test as well. And it goes, hey, do you have some of these things? Do you have 75% of these things? Well, maybe you are closer than you think to opening up a business. Or hey, you have one of these things, or you have none of these things. Maybe you should work on these things right here and get you closer to opening up this business and then leaving your 9 to 5. So go download that. It's free. Everything's linked down below. And we will talk to you all very, very soon.